It's the Bulls Bears Impulse indicator. We got a bit of a weird one this week. Let's take a look. So right off the bat, not to be confused with two indicators that are typically already built into your MT4. You're going to see a Bulls indicator and then a Bears indicator more often than not already there. This is not what we're talking about. This is completely onto itself, and a bit of a strange one, if you ask me. Let's go ahead and jump right into things. First of all, I need to say this all the time. If you don't know what we're doing here, what I'm talking about, go back to the shaft trend cycle video. That will explain things further. If you've never been to this channel before, go back to nononsenseforex.com. Get yourself started. You will have no idea what we're talking about otherwise. But for the rest of us, let's move on to the specs on the Bulls Bears Impulse indicator. When was this made? We don't really know. This is a modification on an indicator called the Elder Ray indicator, which is pretty obscure. Now, I know I have created monsters on this channel. I've created indicator nerds. So a lot of you might already be familiar with the Elder Ray indicator, but most people are not. Elder Ray was made in 1989. This was made years later. We just don't know how many years later, so I can't really give you a year on this one. But this is a confirmation indicator. Clear as day. You'll see it soon. Now, what type of confirmation indicator? It's kind of everything. You'll see it in a minute. Like I said, this, to me, is a strange one. That doesn't mean it's bad. It's just, like I said, you'll see. Now, can you use this as an exit indicator? You certainly can. Is it your best option? Who knows? But it certainly is possible. Now, before we actually take a look at it, let's go over the quick disclaimer. You've seen this before. And moving on. So here is what it looks like. Pretty simple. Now I'm going to show you another slide in a moment, but it's if you've seen the Arun up and down on this channel, I have shown it to you before. It's the same general concept. When things cross, you want to pay attention to what line is up here. If it's red, that means we are going bearish. If it flips green, that means we have now flipped bullish, and so on and so forth. Now, you're not going to get this really nice, long lines all the time. Sometimes you will encounter a situation where it goes up and then goes right back down. It kind of makes these diamond patterns. That is not what you want. But again, like we said before, that is where your other pieces of your algorithm come into play. And even if you do encounter a loss, it's usually not that bad. So let's take a look at this next picture. This tells you exactly what to do. Now, the crazy part about this to me is not only is it a color change indicator, not only is it a two lines cross indicator, it's also a zero line indicator. It's all three wrapped up into one. It's bananas. But you see here, when things cross and all of a sudden you have a red line up here now, that is your short signal. You are now in a bearish program. To where here, where it flips back green, now we're going long. And then we flipped red again, and now we're going short. Super easy. Doesn't require much more explanation than that, really. We got an easy one this week. But things like this are interesting to me. When you get the color change and a zero line cross and a two lines cross at the same time. Pretty cool. Now let's see how it actually performs. Now, as you guys know, we test this on the Euro USD, on gold, and on Bitcoin through StonehillForex.com. Let's see how it did on the Euro USD. Not terrible, not great. On its own, like most indicators, it's not going to do you great. But after a few basic tweaks, did a lot better. Now, if you're using this as your main confirmation indicator or your secondary confirmation indicator, those numbers are pretty decent. That's something you can work with. Let's take it on over to gold. And in gold, decent on the daily, but really good on the 4-hour, believe it or not. You're going to see that sometimes when we do this. And so for all of you who have EAs that can code things into the 4-hour, take a look at this. That's pretty good even on its own without any tweaks. Did really nice. Now on to Bitcoin. Kind of the same as the Euro USD, but actually a little better after the tweaks. Not great on its own, but just with a little bit of adjustments, and you will see those adjustments on Stonehill Forex's blog, which I will link you to. This could actually be something. Now, real quick, I want to point something out. You might see this number right here and say, well, after the tweaks, I only get 12 trades a year. That's 1 trade a month. That just doesn't seem like a lot. Well, for most no-nonsense Forex traders, you guys know with one currency pair, to be able to pull out 1 trade a month with 1 pair, that's actually pretty good. That's not too much, not too little. But if you are strictly trading Bitcoin, for example, then you certainly have a point. You're going to probably want more trades than just 12 a year. So the tweaks you see here may not be for you, and I understand that. But here are the links you need to know, and these are always included down below in the description. The blog where you can find out how to test these on your own. Dan from Stonehill Forex put a video on my automation blog showing you how to do this yourself. And so I'm going to put that down below. Also, the actual link to this indicator where Dan from Stonehill Forex goes deep. Tells you everything you need to know about this indicator and also shows his tweaked settings that you just saw earlier. And then, as always, where you can actually download this indicator. Now, we certainly do hope you like this indicator profile series. We will keep them coming. If you like them, please subscribe, hit the bell, and definitely give us a like. I like the fact that you guys are really liking these new videos, but hit the thumbs up and let me know. And as always, if you have some to add, please put it down in the YouTube comment section. And just so you also know, we're coming out with a new blog every Thursday. If you didn't see last Thursday's blog, you probably should. It's a trading psychology blog, which I have not put out in a long time. And if you're watching this on the Wednesday I released this, just know that I will also try to have one tomorrow as well. So keep checking in. We will continue to bring you great material. And until then, traders, go get it.